Hi guys, welcome back to our channel, Better Together. I'm Sabrina.
And I am Anna.
How are you today, babe?
I am great because when I'm with you,
We are better together. So, guys, we're crossing over into our 30s and we've been doing some reflection, and there are some things that we would tell ourselves in our 20s.
Yes.
Anna has 5 things she would tell herself, and I also have 5 things. So together, we're going to tell you today 10 things that we would tell ourselves in our 20s.
Yes. Let's start with the first one, please.
The first thing I would tell myself is not to get married at 19. I got married at 19 years old because I thought I was in love against the better judgment and advice of my parents, my friends, and my family. Yeah, because I thought I was in love. And obviously it ended in divorce. And looking back over that time in my life when I thought I was in love, I realized that I got married not because I was in love, but because I didn't want to have sex outside of marriage. Because I was a Christian and I wanted to be a good girl. I'm still a Christian, still love God with all my heart. But at that time I thought, I don't want to do this outside of marriage, so I'm just going to get married. And that's absolutely the wrong reason to get married. And so I would tell my younger self to wait. To wait on God's direction, to listen to the opinions and the advice of my family and friends, and not to elope at 19 and get married. And so that is the first thing I would tell myself. Don't get married at 19.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
Big one. Mine. So let's go. Second, you don't need to be friends with everyone. When I was younger, I've said many times here that it took me a while to build my self-esteem. So when I was younger, I didn't have that many friends. And I told you once that I even used to hide in the bathroom during lunchtime because I didn't have people to sit with.
Yeah.
So then I found my friends, and when I went to college, I had a glow up, and a lot of people wanted to be my friend, and I didn't select them. I just said yes, okay, like, oh, I think this person is nice, let's be friends. So I wasn't selective at all with my friendships, and I thought, oh, the more the better. And actually not really. I realized the hard way that when you have that many people that know you, they will also know your business. Some of them, they don't really care about you. They just want to know what is happening in your life. And sometimes people will twist some of your stories and just made up all their stories that aren't real. So that is one of the second lesson, or the second thing that I will tell to my younger self. You don't need to be friends with everyone.
No, the second thing you tell yourself. That's the first thing.
Yeah, that's the second thing. But we're saying 10.
You didn't get married. Number 2.
Yeah, I didn't get married, so I listened to you.
Number 3. Listen to the advice of older people. And that is coming out from my first one, because I thought at 19 years old I knew it all. And my frontal lobe wasn't developed at 19, 20, 21. And so I wish I had listened to more of the advice of older people when they were talking to me, because obviously they're more experienced, and I didn't understand that. I thought I knew it all at 20. I thought I knew it all at 19. And so if I could go back, I would sit at the feet of older people and just adhere to their advice and to the lessons that they were telling me at that time. And I think a lot of the mistakes that I made, I wouldn't have made them. The biggest one is getting married at that time. I wouldn't have made that decision had I listened to the opinions and advice of older people. So listen to the advice of older folks. That's something I would definitely tell my younger self.
Yes, we would have saved ourselves from a lot of hurt, of pain and hurt.
The Bible says a wise person learns from his mistake, but a wiser person learns from someone else's mistake. So at 20, I didn't have much wisdom.
Yeah. Number 4, don't accept situationships and don't be afraid to ask, what are we? When I was growing up, or when I was in college, I I accepted a few situationships, and I try to like, okay, let's push the question of where are we as long as I can, because I don't want to scare the other person, like, you know. And now in my late 20s, I look back and I say like, why would I even be scared of asking that? And you know, a few of those times I asked the question and the guys ran away. And I took it personal. I started telling myself that I was the problem. I took it to myself. And later on, it took me a while to recover and understand that actually I wasn't the problem. They weren't the ones that were ready, and I was giving too much. I was treating the situationship as a relationship, and I was treating them with a lot of love, and I am very giving. And now I know that they didn't deserve it, and I should have hold my stand and let them take the lead and not just give and wait for them to see my worth, because that's what I was doing. Like, okay, let them see my worth, and once they see I am all this like good and I am loving and giving, they will formalize the situationship, and that didn't happen. So don't accept situationships, don't drag on for months, and ask the question like, what are we? Don't be afraid to ask that. And if they run away, they weren't worth it, to be honest.
They weren't the one.
They weren't the one. And now I see, and I wish I would know this earlier on.
You'd have saved yourself a lot of heartache.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So then accept situationships and don't be afraid to ask. What are we? They're not afraid to ask from us, you know?
Yeah. Number 5, believe in yourself. That is something that I would tell myself. When I was younger, I lacked so much self-confidence, and I walked with my head down because I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe I was good enough. I didn't believe that I was beautiful enough, because culturally in Jamaica, girls with big boobs, big booty, thick thighs were considered culturally beautiful, and I didn't feel like that. I didn't fit into that. I have always been a skinny girl, and I didn't accept myself for who I am, and so that kind of like tugged at my confidence. And looking back, I would tell myself, girl, you are gorgeous, you are beautiful. Now I love the body that I am in. I love my shape. I feel beautiful, and I wish I knew that, because if I had the level of confidence that I have now, I probably wouldn't accept some things that I accepted in my life. So when you don't have confidence, you tend to accept less than you truly deserve, because you're accepting things from a place of low self-esteem, insecurity, low self-worth. And so I wish I had the level of confidence I have now. So to my younger self, girl, believe in yourself and hold your head high.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I think that is something that a lot of young people struggle with.
Whether it is,
it takes a while to get to a self-loving place.
Yeah, so many like societal expectations and
Peer
guidelines
pressure.
and standard of beauty. It's just
Insanity.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
So you're living in one country where you need to be thick and all that to be beautiful, and then I moved to Asia, where being skinny is the standard of beauty. So you just have to believe in yourself.
Number 6, be more selfish. I grew up with a mother figure that she was very giving. I think she is one step away from being a saint. She is very loving, very giving, and sometimes she forgets to do things for herself. And I grew up seeing that. And as a mother, like, she's a wonderful mother, very dedicated, but that didn't prepare me to go into society. When you are so kind or when you are so giving, people will take and take and take until there's nothing left. And I wish I was more selfish and keep things to myself and learn how to say no and not feel bad about it. So I wish I did more things for myself, and I wish I just didn't lay myself out to everyone, and let people just take and take. So yeah,
even to the even to the detriment of your own needs, right? You weren't doing
Yes.
that. Like,
Yeah.
you were just giving, and sacrificing your own needs,
Yeah.
your own wants for everyone else and everyone else around you.
Yes, I remember one of the big things that tugged at me was the fact that I was the shoulder to cry on of all of my friends, of all of my girlfriends, and they will come to me and cry and ask for advice. And I realized that I didn't have anyone to rely on. And so I was the one carrying, at the moment, I used to have, I don't know, like 10 different girlfriends. And all of them will come to me with their problems and crying. And I'm like, hey, everything's going to be fine. Let's find a way to fix this problem. Like, I was the one lifting them up. But when I was the one having problems, I didn't have someone like me to lift me up. So yeah, I wish I was a little bit more selfish with my energy in that sense.
Number 7, don't let the opinion of strangers, people that you don't even know, paralyze you. So one of the things that I struggled with growing up is I wouldn't do something because I was fearful of criticism. I was fearful of what other people would say about me. I was so scared to try things because I didn't want to fail and for people to laugh at me and stuff like that. It is also like one of the reasons too, when my marriage was failing, I stayed in it for a longer time because I was so scared like that. I was so scared that people were going to laugh at me and say, you see, I told you so, I told you so. And so in one end, it is good to listen to the advice, you know, of your family and your close friends and especially experienced people. But then there's another side where you don't apply yourself, or you don't do things, you don't try things because you are so scared of what the naysayers will say. I wanted to do certain things, and because other people would criticize me, or other people I think may laugh at me, you know, that paralyzed me in my life to the point where I didn't even try. And so I wish I wasn't so afraid of the naysayers, you know, people that didn't even know me. Like, I got into my head, like, what will people say? And I come to realize that people don't even care about you that much. People don't even think about you that much. I think you were even saying to me once, like, you are like background noise in other people's lives. Like, they don't even notice you that much. And I was so paralyzed by opinions of people that I made up, people that probably didn't even notice me.
They were having their own problems.
Their own life, you know. I was not the main character in their story. And so I wish that I was the main character in my story and not give voices to faceless people in my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes that is scary, but yeah, we need to remember ourselves that for other people, we are just background noise. They are having their own problems. They are dealing with their own situations. We are not in their heads. And that takes me to number 8. Yeah. This thing with the numbers is a little like, oh, which number? Wait, what? Okay, so yeah, this takes us to number 8. Don't overshare. And sometimes, like, taken from what you said, like, sometimes we are just background noise. It's also truth that when you overshare and a lot of people know about your business, they might not give a deep thought about you, but they will talk.
Because they ask to talk about it. They ask because they want to know, not because they care. It's a very big difference.
Yes, so be mindful of sharing your personal struggles with certain people that might not even be your friends. So be mindful of who is a real friend, who isn't, and who is asking what kind of intention they have behind their question or questioning what is happening in your life. There are some people that they are just asking to have the next hot gossip and spread it around. And humans are like that, I think. And especially girls. There is a study that says that girls speak like, I don't know, 500 or 5,000 words per day, and half of them it's about other people or gossip, things like that. So just spare yourself of being in other people's
talk of the town.
Yes.
By not oversharing.
Yeah, so don't overshare. Not everyone needs to know your business.
Number 9. And it's so funny because we're like contrasting each other. For me, you had all these people in your life that you were telling all these things. For me, I wish that I valued friendships more. Like, I was too quick to walk away from friendships. And as I'm getting older, I realize the importance of having a really good community, like really good friends, solid friendships. And our friendship is so beautiful, and we have forgiven each other so much, fought for each other so much. And I wish I did that for a lot more of my friendships when I was younger. I would walk away too quickly, and that is something I would tell myself to value friendships more, because that is very important. No man is an island, no man stands alone, and friendships are really beautiful, and I wish I valued those more in my 20s. So value your friendships. That's what I would tell my younger self.
I'm gonna hop on that as well. Because I had a lot of people around me, but
Acquaintances.
yeah, and I wasn't selective, so a lot of the people around me, I didn't value them as I should have, and I wish I fought for friendships that were worth it. And I know I left some friends without saying anything, and some days I regret that.
Me too.
Like, I just grew apart from them and without explanation, and sometimes it went both ways, that we just stopped talking. But same, I wish I would have fought for certain friendships.
Yeah. So guys, like, if you have good friendships
Value them.
in your 20s, value them. You're going to need them for the rest of your life. Friendships are beautiful. The Bible says a friend sticketh closer than a brother. That's the importance of good friendship. So value your friendships.
One thing I usually tell you is that even though I don't speak with some of those friends anymore, they are still part of me, because they were part of my story. They were there when I was growing up, and even though we grew apart and we're not talking anymore, they're part of my story, and they live inside me. Yeah, they are part of what I am right now,
and when we talk about them, we share so much stories.
And they might not know, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes I also wonder, like, would they remember me with the same warmth I remember them? So I hope it's like that.
Yeah.
Number 10, learn to have stronger boundaries early on. So when I was younger, for my upbringing, I didn't learn to have strong boundaries from the beginning. It was something that I learned with pain and lessons, and later on, after many lessons. But I wish I knew
how to set boundaries
earlier. Yes, and how to say no and not feel guilty about it, and be firm with them.
That.
Yeah, I used to feel so guilty to say no to things I really didn't want to do. And now I don't care. Like, I will go and deal with the consequences, and I am quite proud of that right now. But not knowing how to set boundaries earlier took me to
places you didn't want to go.
Yes.
In situations you didn't want to be in.
Oh God, yes.
And then later regretting those things.
Yeah, I do regret some of those things, but you know what? Like, I had to learn the hard way. Otherwise, I would have kept doing them. So I regret certain things, but I'm not mad about
The
going
lessons.
through them. Yeah. We are saying all of this not to say that we regret all those things that we did wrong, because we had to learn them, and maybe we learned the hard way, and with a little bit of pain and tears.
But there's so much wisdom now,
And they made us the person
that we are.
people that we are right now. And right now I love myself, and I know that you do
I
too.
love it. And
So
even in the getting married when I was 19, I learned so much in those like 3 years that it lasted when we were together. So much. And I have so much wisdom in relationship now, you know, that I didn't have then. And so I if I could go back, I would probably have not done it. But knowing that I have now, I am so grateful for
Yeah.
all the lessons and for all the mistakes we've made in life. They've made us better women. And I'm sure that for our 30s, we are going to be a much better version of ourselves.
Yes.
Of ourselves. And so, guys, share how you guys have changed or the lessons you guys learned.
Yeah.
Comment below. We'd love to hear some of those. This was it for today, guys. Until next time, bye!